Hi Capricorns, and here we are for February forecast. My apologies for the long hiatus, but I have been rather really affected with the seasonal flu. If it's seasonal, I don't know. It could be a consequence of my broken ribs that I had in November. So I might from time to time stop my recording when I cough, so my apologies. And if you guys feel that anything resonates, then consider subscribing. So lastly guys, at the very end of this video is going to be addendum addition to it. So if you have any questions, like when I'm talking and you're saying, is this my situation? I want to kind of get greater clarity about so-and-so card. Then pick a card, which I actually added to this kind of like February readings to get more clarity. You can do it for you can do it for the other sign, and I always suggest that you check your sign, your moon sign, and your ascendant, so that it's a general reading to give you a greater understanding. Or if you want a reading with me, just contact me via cattarot.ca. Whoa! February, it's a month of love. Look at this. You have the Hermit, which is a sister sign. It's a Virgo. I guess this is really talking about the Mercury coming through. But for you, that grounding energy is about wisdom, about knowing your own truths, knowing what works for you, knowing in which direction you really want to go. It's absolutely awesome. And here you have like this kindred spirit. Things are really working out. You kind of like want to do it. You want to find your mate. You are getting together, guys. So if you barricade yourself at home, and you're not going out, you're not picking up your phone, and you decide to be the solitary, you're going to be missing this. This is absolutely lovely. Hey, come on, share the fountain with me. Kissy kissy. This is like such an innocent, perfect love. But nothing is perfect, and that's why you have the Tower. So Capricorns, Towers show when we ignore Death card. And most people very much revere Death card. And I think, was it Libra? Libra was. I actually did have quite a long explanation about the Tower. And maybe you should look into that, because Tower is really talking about circumstances needing shake-up. It talks about we ignored his Death card, right? So after Death card, we indulged. So Death card is number 13, and then after 14, in 14 we have Temperance. So Temperance is saying, okay, so let's rebalance, let's settle down. I know that Temperance belongs to Sagittarius, but I always see Temperance as Aquarius for some reason, right? So for you, it's very significant because this Temperance card is just before your card, the Devil, and Devil doesn't have negative connotations when we come to representing your sign. And then for the others, it has lots of negative connotations, meaning, hey, you're indulging, maybe you're overindulging, but sometimes that's okay, right? So, but then the Tower comes and it says, it was enough. It was enough. You did it. You overdid it, right? So here it can talk a breakup. It can talk about loss of job. It can talk about dramatic event. It can talk about the shakedown. It can talk about, hey, we need to rebuild it. Something that you have been working and putting so much effort in it, all of a sudden is falling apart, and you're saying to yourself, yeah, but I really want to redo it. I really want to rework it. Ultimately, Tower turns out to be positive. But positive after needing to see the holes in the projects, holes in our life, holes in the relationship, because this dude needs to figure out what he needs. Hermit is a very powerful card, right? With Hermit is like that intuition that is really building. It's reaching like really maturity level where we really know what we really need, and hence it's really easy to eliminate people and things and situations that we don't want in our life. And you have the cat magic or the magician over here. Whoa, look at the majors coming through. This means actually, no matter what happens, you have what it takes. You have what you need in order to rebuild, in order to kind of like set things right, settings properly. And you're Capricorn, you're kind of like a builder. Most people underestimate Capricorns because they're foolish. You are extremely powerful sign. Capricorn is the bringer of the kings. I mean, look at any government, all these people in the shadows. The Capricorns don't like to be jumping in front of everybody and telling me. Rarely. because you know who you are. You are really kind of quiet. Look at these pomegranates, which are talking about the seeds and fruits, that you know, I did it. I did it. I worked really hard. So that's why you're represented with a goat, because it goes so high and it's willing to climb really, really steep and really, really high, and sometimes even go in a brush with danger. So Ace of Sea, look at it. Something maybe started in the past. Some romance, some glance. Maybe you exchanged numbers with someone. Maybe you thought, I saw this guy on Tinder or any relationship, any website in Facebook or something. Maybe somebody contacted you just out of nowhere and you just brushed it off and delete, kind of a thing. But you maybe still kind of like think, well, maybe this is a venue, or this is how I can do things. So it's kind of like really interesting that it's going from 1 to 2. So it is something that I see here brewing. Something is brewing. Maybe because something is brewing, this is warning you not to put the elements into that soup, if you wish, that really shouldn't be there. And then you have Sky Tom. Sky Tom is about, look, he's forgetting that he needs to make sure that he lands down on his feet. He's just like so focused on his goal and where he's going that he's forgetting about the other elements, right? It's a little bit of that too airy, I guess, too much things. It can actually talk about conviction. It can talk about, I really want this, I really need this. It's kind of like, to me, it can relate to Hermit, except this guy talks a lot, or a woman, whatever it is. Maybe you need to express yourself, and maybe this is why the Tower moment is here. So let's see what else we're going to clarify, because it's really interesting that it's crossing 2 of Sea. Oh my goodness, 4 of Fire. Who was that had 4 of Fire? Was it Virgo or Libra as well? This is moving forward. Something is moving forward. Something is going through this check process, and it's check. It could be that some of you are maybe shy of going in a relationship. Maybe some of you are thinking, well, I don't know how to push things ahead. I don't know how to do it. And now all of a sudden, like, there is this talk that is taking place, which is kind of creating me a little bit of a discomfort, but it clears the air and things are all of a sudden looking up, because the cat magic is saying, and look at this is 1, this is 9, you're accomplishing a lot. Like, you're taking big chunks, like not little chunks. There's like not actually small, slow and steady kind of a thing. From what I see, there's like this big motion. This is air, right? So this is a very mercurial kind of thing, where things can shift in a moment, kind of a thing. As far as you guys, you're getting Karma card. You're getting the Wheel of Fortune. You're going to feel on the top. You're going to feel you're winning. You're going to feel you're getting ahead. This is kind of like that lovely process. That is kind of interesting, that we always have this blind spot. We always like when we're on the top. Never like when we are falling out of grace, right? And we always experience the struggle kind of climbing up. It's going to be really feeling great. This is like something that it's written in your karma chart that is going to happen this month. Whether this is somebody entering your life that is karmic, this could be this person over here, somebody with whom you communicate ideas, you communicate on intelligence level. Some people like to see, let's see a little shoulder, let's see how you dress, let's see your pearls, let's see your shoes. Not this person, not this woman, not this man. This man is saying, let's see how you talk. Let's see what you did. Which books did you read? Tell me, kind of what was important to you in school. Tell me why you chose what you're doing for today. It's going to be kind of like different approach. You are earth sign, so physical beauty, it's extremely important to you. But this person over here, I don't think so. And maybe this is puzzling you. Maybe you want to be told that you are pretty, and they are really looking at you. Oh my God, this is given to you. These are your genes. So great. Okay, sure, yeah. You're wrapping this package really nicely. But what you have inside, you build it. You worked on it. So they are seeing that master behind that. And that is very, very important. So this is the environment. It could be 2 people. It could be the choice between that person who is like really into kind of like communication of the ideas, and there is like a high eloquence, high intelligence, versus there could be somebody else who is like super emotional. Maybe you broke up with someone and then somebody else came through. This could be air sign, this could be water sign over here that I see, and you like this person better. You like this person better. Seeking is somebody who is a really good listener, somebody who gives this like mother or father home feeling. As I told you when I started, you're going to really feel yourself, right? Because when you deal with fire, I mean, this of course differs for any one of you, right? Because we all have different combination in astrological chart. And if you ever get a reading with me, if I get longer reading, let's say karma or fly on the wall, I also check your astrological kind of constellation and chart, and to see where you really are, what you can squeeze the best out of the situation, right? But when you deal with fire, or when you deal with air, these energies are a little bit higher than you. And higher in a different way, not better, just different, right? So it would mean, let's say you like driving, and let's talk about kilometers, because I'm in SI system over here in Canada. So let's say you're driving 100 kilometers an hour. I think that would be 60 miles. You would feel comfortable with that. Air sign maybe wouldn't. They would feel more comfortable with 150 kilometers or 100 miles per hour, which to you would be like, okay, I don't know about this, I'm not so sure. So that's kind of like where it's happening. So something is happening with the speed and with level of engagement that is more vibrational to you when you deal with other earth sign or when you deal with a water sign. Of course, as I said, it depends on the other things. So I think this person is going to be a better fit, but nonetheless they're going to be very interesting. Hey, you're bringing luck to Capricorns? Are you? Are you going to mess up the card, Sapphie? So this is Sapphie, the Siamese. After her, this whole channel has been named. But we have a sea queen. So could this be some kind of couple? Or are you wondering if this person is too good to be true? Or are you seeing yourself, I want to be Mrs. or I want to be the Mr. Cups, Mr. Water, I want to immerse. So this is now where it's getting really interesting, because look, we have 1, we have 2, and then we have a king and queen. So it went from 0 to 100 in a second. That's it. You wanted, you saw somebody, I don't know, short of Hierophant coming through. Like, I mean, this is going to be whirlwind romance. Whether or not you want it, even though you kind of like wanted something comfortable, this kind of like water is going to be still, but it's going to be very, very powerful. Let's see what is the last card. And it's Ten of Fire. Why? Maybe you're craving romance this month. And maybe you started with this romance around your birthday. Your birthday was a really powerful time for you, and you really wanted to capitalize on it, right? So, something was turbulent. Something got in a way, or something is getting in a way this month, but you're like jumping back on your feet. You're saying, I'm doing good. In fact, you're pushing yourself in a new direction. Look, we have a 1 here, we have a 1 here, we have a 1 here, we have a 1 here. Almost looking across. We have the energies. So that's why the Magician is confirming you have everything you need. Everything. Even if this means that you need to run, that something is exploding in your face, literally, you need to run, because we do have this element of fire. So if you guys have, let's say, a fire sign that you're dealing with, or situation that can be identified with fire, maybe that's a situation that you need to worry about this month. If this could relate to work for some reason, it could be some shuffle at your work, it could be redundancy at your work, because I see the Tower. But usually these kind of things don't bother you very much, because you always know your value. You're one of those signs, or one of the best sign to really know that. And you already have, let's say, contacts, because you are building things properly. So when a goat walks on this kind of like steep mountains, kind of like watches every step it makes. So it's kind of like premeditated, right? So you want to go from one to king. Everything. You want everything. You want everything. You don't want to settle for anything bad. You want happiness. So this can be proposal. This can be going to the next level. If you just started to date, it's going to be actually feeling like a big commitment. Things are going to really, really ramp up for you. So this can actually literally translate to, hey, you know what? Like, I mean, everything started well. It was good feelings of this kindred spirit. This is really working well. You actually really got surprised and you realize, well, this is a really, really good fit. You might be dealing with Virgo, you might be dealing with Scorpio, you might be dealing with Aries. So, or Sagittarius. I kind of like see like the messages are coming to those signs the most, and also the water signs, as I see, right? To the lesser extent, air signs. So that's kind of like what I see with water having the best, let's say, combination. You're trying to crack the lock, but it's not only one solution. There are a few solutions. The easier one is the water one. And if you guys dealing with a water sign, you're going to have absolutely freaking wonderful month and smooth sailing, and off you go. And please don't forget to come back and tell us that it was like really fun. If you're dealing with an air sign, it might be really a friend. It could be a confidant. It could be a advisor. It's somebody who is helping you go in a kind of like new direction. If you're dealing with fire, I think that in particular will be tricky and will actually have some issues. As I said, guys, at the end of this reading, you will be able to go and pick a card in reading, so you can kind of expand on whatever we covered over here. I want to see this tower, and I want to see this like 10 of earth. I want to see what is this all about over here. So let's see tower. Why did towers come here for my Capricorns? So you have melody, you have sorrow, and you have sweetheart. Well, this melody card to me can talk about depression, also the sorrow. As I said, it kind of like this maybe indicated breakup. Maybe something was going very well and somebody put a stop to it, kind of a thing. Maybe that's what it was. And that's what I said. Maybe somebody new entered over here, right? So something is going to go through shifting, a reshifting. It's almost like when you're driving in the snow and ice. You think you're going to make it, but you're spinning in a kind of like spot, and you're getting annoyed by second that you're going to dig a much bigger hole and never get yourself out of it, right? So I really think when I see this melody, maybe somebody didn't have a positive attitude in a relationship. Maybe somebody really didn't want to work with you, and that's kind of like to you was, listen, all we can do in life is just to keep trying, and we have to keep trying. If you give up, you have nothing. You need to kind of like move and start moving forward, right? Because I can see two of these cards. Both of them are really signifying this. This is kind of like talking about pain and grief and separation and broken heart. And maybe for some of you was, I really thought you were the one. I really did. This can talk about counseling. This can talk about getting your tarot reading as well, right? If you do that, guys, you are moving ahead. You are going to get this advice how to get there. The path is not being shown over here, just saying certain things need to happen in order. It's this magic, right? It's magician over here. We have the magician, we have high priestess, we have the hierophant, right? So it could be also a family argument of some sort, because this also talks about almost like mafia meeting or a family meeting where kind of like you are in it together kind of a thing. So let's check that one out. Yeah, just randomly taking them out. So scholar, which is again advice, counseling, therapy, consultation. This is also good when it's reversed, because upright, it really talks about somebody who is arrogant and somebody who thinks, I'm so good, you just need to realize how great I am. But that vanity is not there when this reverses. So this is kind of like the grounding effect. But enemy showed up here. An enemy is somebody who obviously satisfier, or something happens, something didn't work out. It almost looks like, you know, diversion of some sort, right? That might be in the store. But I really think this kind of like will happen, as I told you, most likely with fire signs, or if you're dealing with somebody who might be slightly narcissistic of some sort, who maybe kind of like took care of their own needs, but not so much of yours. So don't forget, guys, to stick around and pick a card, because I guess some of you might have these issues. If you don't have these issues, it might actually just show up as a minor turbulence of some sort. Make sure that if something looks too good to be true, that it isn't too good to be true, because for some of you, you might find that somebody comes with a baggage that's maybe rather severe, and it can come in a form of, let's say, an ex who is not letting go, who sunk hers or his teeth in this person and cannot get over the breakup, or literally about somebody else who has the clandestine kind of like meetings as well. So talking things out, maybe setting it up, maybe you want monogamy, maybe you want to just go one-on-one, it's going to be very successful. I do suggest either a reading or talking to a friend about finding a strategy, because you guys are really, really good about a strategy. So thanks, guys, a lot. Stick around. If any of these kind of like hit a nerve with you and this is your situation, then pick a card and you're going to get a little bit more information. You know, guys, that I love you, my dear Capricorns. I wish you a wonderful month, because for most of you it's going to be really wonderful. I love you. Until the next time, all the best.